Hi, thank you for joining us for our walk and talk today. I'm here with Kimberly Harrington from Farmers Insurance, and we are at the beautiful Oso Wetlands Preserve. Today we're going to be talking about insurance in the Coastal Bend and how that looks a little bit different from the type of insurance that you might get in other areas that are not on the coast. Kimberly Harrington again is with Farmers.
Hello, good morning.
And I hope you enjoy our walk today.
Good morning. Thank you, Sophia, for inviting me to come walk with you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Absolutely, and this is beautiful out here. Thank you. So one thing we wanted to talk about is how insurance is not created equally depending on where you live. So we that live here on the coast, we know that it's a little different than if you have friends and family that live in San Antonio, Austin, El Paso. So if you live in a county that touches the water, basically a coastal county, you are gonna have different requirements. So I think what a lot of people don't realize that even our friends and family that live in San Antonio, they have windstorm insurance. It's built, they do. It is built into their homeowner's policy. So they are susceptible to wind, hail, tornadoes. I mean, they still have those types of losses, but it's all built into one policy.
Okay.
And along the coast, depending on exactly where you live, the age of the home, and the company you're with, you may have separate policies. So you can have a homeowner's policy, which is basically your fire, vandalism, theft, everything other than a storm. And then you'll have a separate windstorm policy, which is windstorm, hail, hurricane, tornado. So along the coast is a little different. So with all that being said, I think for homeowners that are moving into this area, you really have to start getting your quotes while you're shopping for homes, because the insurance premiums are going to be a lot different depending on where you buy a home and the age of the home. So newer homes get building code credits, so the premium could be different. So I think it's really important to don't wait to get your quotes. No insurance agent is going to care if they run 5, 10 quotes for you. They're going to be happy for you that you're buying a house, that you're trying to figure out which home suits your financial needs. Right? And it could make a huge difference. Like, what if you fall in love with this house and you're pre-qualified and the insurance is significantly higher for that house compared to another? It could really affect your deal, and especially if you wait till the last minute.
Yes. So I know for me, when I got my homeowner's insurance on my home, it felt like adding that windstorm on there almost doubled my annual insurance cost. So
it's significant, you know. I mean, it's a big chunk of it.
Right. So this is just an example, but I was paying about $2,000 a year for my homeowner's insurance, and then when I added that wind on there, that was an extra $1,500 a year.
Yeah.
And I know that's really going to depend on the age of the home. Mine's a little bit older, so it might have a higher cost as far as the insurance compared to some other properties. And I know I've seen that with some homes that my clients have gotten quotes on that were larger homes than mine. Would probably cost a lot more to rebuild that home, but their insurance costs were a lot less, and it was probably because it was a newer home.
A newer home,
yes.
Building codes change, and you do get building code credits, and so it is a significant part of your mortgage payment. So that's why I always say shop early. Don't wait till the last minute.
And how long does it usually take for someone to get a quote back if they're shopping around for a home and they're actually waiting to make that offer? How long does it usually take to get that quote back?
We just have to communicate with each other. If you need it now to make an offer, that's an emergency.
Yeah.
So you need to tell the person you're communicating, whether it's me or your current agent, all due respect, know you're busy. I really need this quote, you know? And so we are very understanding. We can stop what we're doing. We are fully staffed. We can get you a quote quickly. We just have to communicate, you know, I need this quote fast. So.
And then what about flood insurance? I know I have a lot of people that are moving into the area and they tell me, we don't want to be in a flood zone. And because I've talked to you guys so much, you always tell us,
we're never all in a flood zone.
That's right. The whole area is a flood zone because we live on the coast and flooding is always a possibility.
Absolutely.
So how can someone feel comfortable with getting a property in the area knowing that it's all a potential flood zone?
So, and that's part of the communicating, right? We don't just want to shoot out quotes. We want to have conversations. So if you have a buyer that's moving into this area and they're curious about flood, I mean, we can give you a flood quote really quickly. We can tell you if a house is in a high risk flood zone or low to moderate risk flood zone. So everything's in a flood zone, right?
Yeah.
It's either high risk or low to moderate. If you are in a high risk flood zone, it's going to be required by your mortgage company to purchase flood. So that's really the difference. If you're in a low to moderate, it's your choice. Obviously we recommend it, but it's really your choice, and your mortgage company's not going to require it, and they're not going to bundle it into your escrow.
Okay.
So that's kind of the difference. But while you're shopping, we can quickly, there's programs that we can tell you really quickly if something's in a high risk flood zone. Now, something important to know is that our flood maps in Corpus Christi, they finally got approved. It's been years that they were updating the maps. They're approved. We're getting calls for people that live on the west side of Corpus Christi. If you're familiar with this area, the west side is further away from the water, right?
Yes.
They are now in a flood zone.
Really?
Yes.
And
it has to do with, could be low lying.
Okay.
Yep. So we have properties in Robstown. We have properties in Banquetti, right, that are high risk flood zone. And you think, what? I'm not right on the water. I'm further from the water. You know, it doesn't matter. It has to do with the potential to flood. So we're getting calls all the time. So if you get anything from your mortgage company that says we now require a flood, call your agent, call me. We're happy to give you a quote.
Okay, so you're able to tell pretty quickly now that those maps have been approved.
Absolutely.
If something's in a flood zone, and be able to quote according to that.
Absolutely. And if there's any question, we have a great floodplain manager in our area, and she answers our call.
Okay.
So if we have any questions, we have a huge resource in this city.
Okay, great. Yep. Well, I definitely appreciate you walking with me today.
Oh, it's fun.
And I just wanted to show you guys this beautiful view out here. If you have not been out to Oso Wetlands Preserve, definitely come check it out. So I am Sophia Keeler with Keller Williams Coastal Bend. You can reach me at 361-756-1900. And this is
Kimberly Harrington with Farmers Insurance, and my phone number is 361-906-1616.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.